So, any crypto questions that I can help with? Cass. What would you like to know about Cass? Okay. Don't know where to start. What would you like to know? I mean, because
What's the collateral?
Sorry?
What's based on?
What is Cass based on? So, just like you could say, what is Bitcoin based on? Technically.
Power of calculation.
Sorry?
Power of calculation is the collateral. Bitcoin,
Yeah.
Same for Cass.
Yes.
How is it different?
So, the underlying value of Bitcoin is that it's irrefutable maths. It's set, so you can't, how do I explain this in a simple, well, not simple way. So there can never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. It's written in maths. It can't be hacked. Well, it hasn't been hacked that we know of. Technically, it could, but because of its encryption, it's unlikely to ever be hacked. It's the only hard form of currency which the world seems to be slowly defaulting to. And now that BlackRock has basically given it official status, it looks like the world is going to be quickly moving over to that. So that's one of the reasons, because it's reached a critical threshold of adoption, it's now in the lexicon. So that means it is the unofficial global reserve currency now, especially with CBDCs coming. So that's what gives Bitcoin its value at the moment. Up until then, it was just, like magic money that people traded. But because so many people believe in it, it's now become on the world stage. Now, Casper has all of the properties and benefits that Bitcoin has, other than network adoption yet. It's just launched, basically. So no one really knows about it, but all of the pros that Bitcoin has, Casper is also displaying. But it's as though Satoshi has looked at Bitcoin for the last 10 years and gone, that's not what I wanted, because he originally wanted it as peer-to-peer electronic cash. So he's seen that Bitcoin has turned into digital gold, which wasn't part of the white paper. And so he was like, right, I need this to be, we need some form of digital peer-to-peer exchange, which is pure, mathematically, in all senses. So that's my rubbish explanation of why CAS has value. At the moment, technically, it's just there's a certain amount of people that believe in it because of all these values that Bitcoin has. And the key thing is that it's just network adoption.
If BTC is the gold,
yeah.
CBDCs are the cash, does that leave room for anything else like CAS or others?
Yeah, I think so. I think CBDCs is the last gasp of air that fiat currencies have. So CBDCs are basically just fiat currencies, but programmable fiat currencies. So if you don't stay in your house during lockdown, did I tweet that thing about the jaywalking this morning? That's crazy. They get fined. The government literally just takes the money out of your own wallet for jaywalking. It's just insane. So yeah, they shame them. Their social credit score goes down. Everything. So the West, that's where we're moving to, and they can't do that until we have like digipound, digidollar. So it's just fiat currency. So I am in the camp that Bitcoin will become digital gold and Casper will be digital silver, mainly because there's 28.7 billion Casper that will be in issuance in 2037, and hopefully, and because so here's the other thing. I think for me, the big reason is that since Bitcoin launched, loads of other cryptos have launched, but in a rush. Basically, every project that's come out there, even Ethereum said that, I think Vitalik said they never planned for more than something like $100 million market cap. And now it's what, how many tens of billions, $100 billion market cap? It's crazy. So every crypto since then has been, oh shit, let's get some sellotape and add this feature. Let's get some glue and add this. So it's like having a horse-drawn carriage and trying to improve the horse-drawn carriage. They've now got rubber tires, they've got aircon, they've got a CD player in. But ultimately, it can't make the horse-drawn carriage go any faster. It's inadequate to going from, I don't know, here to Scotland in a time-efficient manner. what's happened now, and that's why we have layer 2s and layer 3s. So Ethereum is so crap, it needs layer 2s like Arbitrum to make it faster and cheaper, because gas fees are ridiculous. So Casper and there are other projects with good tech. They've come along and gone, well, there's no need for layer 2s, layer 3s, or whatever, because you can have Casper as the layer 1 settlement layer, and you can build eventually smart contracts on it. So you won't need a layer 2. So basically it makes all layer 2s completely redundant, like the Lightning for the Bitcoin network, and Optimism, Arbitrum, Matic, all that sort of stuff. So yeah. Yes?
Why do you think Litecoin doesn't improve? So
the principle of Litecoin or the Lightning network?
The Litecoin.
Oh, it's not that quick.
Okay.
So, and you can't scale. So if you imagine a world with 12 billion people, so we're 8 billion people at the moment, in not long, give it 20 to 50 years, I think the human race should peak at about 12 billion. The middle class will be a lot bigger. You'll have the Internet of Things / the Internet of Everything. So you have devices that have their own wallet that are transacting nano transactions. So you need a global, so it makes sense that the Earth needs a global payment solution that it has instant payments, near to instant finality. Because at the moment, if I'm a country sending $10 billion cross borders, it takes 3 days. It's T+3 plus 0.25% in fees. So hundreds of millions of dollars just to send billions. It's inefficient. So that's why the FedNow system is up. So the big banks and governments can start sending money instantly almost. But yeah, the world needs a layer 1 that is fast, it's scalable, and also all current crypto projects they have mandatory limits based on their coding. So everyone's looked at the speed of the internet and how many people are participating on the internet, and it's like, yeah, and said, right, okay, this crypto will be this fast. One of the cool things with Casper is that it's parameterless, if that makes sense. So it doesn't care how fast the internet is, or what the bandwidth or latency or jitter of it. So for example, let's say all of a sudden global internet speeds 10x. Just, I don't know, new tech, all the internet's just 10x faster everywhere. And I know there's another 50 billion people using Casper. It doesn't matter. It's infinitely scalable. Whereas every other network are screwed. And so if you take Bitcoin, so Bitcoin's answer to that is the Lightning network. So the Lightning network is basically a layer 2 bolted onto Bitcoin, where you can do limitless or unlimited transactions, etc. But the easiest way to understand the Lightning network, whenever you read about it now, is that it's an offline ledger. So for example, let's say this table is a community of people and businesses, and they're always transacting, etc. If they were to pay each other with Bitcoin, if you were to buy a cup of coffee, you can't stand there and wait there for 10 minutes whilst your Bitcoin goes through. It needs to be instant confirmation. So what happens, the Lightning network says, what we'll do is we'll make this city or this a node. So every time, over a 10-minute period, which is a block of Bitcoin, you guys can transact with each other as many times as you want, and then the final value at the end of the 10 minutes will then be put onto the Bitcoin's blockchain. So you can buy many coffees, buy, sell, and at the end of the block, it's like, okay, this amount of Bitcoin needs to move from this wallet to this wallet. So that's how they get the scalability. But the problem is, it's not secure. Lightning network is not secure at all, because although Bitcoin can't be hacked, the Lightning nodes are piss poor for protection. So yes, you'll see loads of charts where the Lightning network adoption is going up, which is good, but I guarantee you there'll be loads of Lightning node hacks. So yeah, it's what I said on the Trading Pub the other day, that people need a base knowledge or prerequisite understanding to understand certain things. So for example, if a scientist was trying to explain quantum mechanics and quantum entanglement to me, I wouldn't have a clue because I don't have a physics degree. I don't understand basically anything. So I just wouldn't be able to understand quantum entanglement. And it's a bit like if you speak to a random family member trying to explain why Bitcoin is so important. In reality, you just need to say it's the hardest money on the planet. All fiat currencies are being expanded and will forever be. That's really the only answer that you need, but they probably wouldn't understand that. I know a lot of my family wouldn't understand that. So it's then even harder to explain what Casper to a random person because they don't understand the Bitcoin reason first. Sorry, yeah?
It's just my job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was my long answer to what, yeah. Any other questions? How?
Can you get an image up on the screen?
Yeah.
Send it to you on WhatsApp?
How clean is it?
Oh, no, it's good. Yeah, I just picture a WhatsApp image.
Okay.
It just might be an interesting point of reference for people, just to make people aware of the little boom that's going on in the GPU side of things.
This one?
Yeah. So if you look there, this is a picture put together. So this is the year-to-date percentage increases of the top mineable coins that me and my company have been specialising in. Obviously, Casper at number 2 with a nice 800% increase. So some of you probably won't have heard of many of these, but basically, as Siam obviously goes into some detail, the AI stuff, which is a massive thing, is all obviously done on GPU compute, which happens to be the same time as you use crypto mining. So a lot of these coins that come very well outside, like Dahlia and Cortex and Conflux, are basically now where people have realised there's all this GPU compute that's hung over from crypto mining, where the token's now represented by doing commercial workloads on those GPUs. Hence, you know, even while the market's been pretty flat, we've seen some really, really nice rises in the prices in the coins. So some interesting coins to watch there, I think, based on what's going on.
Yeah, and the term you'll probably see bounded around a lot in the future is POUW, proof of useful work. So, so where all these decentralized distributed computing projects like Dynex and Tao are saying is that Bitcoin mining rigs is wasted energy. They're just, you know, in my opinion, it's not wasted energy. And I've made videos about that in the past. But they're saying, oh, it's a waste of money. You need to have proof of useful work. So, like Josh just said, they're taking these GPUs, like your, you know, RTX 3090 or whatever, and you're hooking that up to let's say the Dynex network, and then you can be a node. And so, the whole Dynex network will then, or not necessarily Dynex, let's just say a distributed computing network. They will have a bunch of different softwares running. So let's say their thing is we are going to help do text to image processing, right? Using Midjourney. So that Midjourney software or the equivalent will be on all of these nodes. So when a user goes, make me a picture of an orange, that request will go to the network and all the GPUs will contribute computing power to generate that text to image, so it's proof of useful work, so it's not just wasted. And the overall long-term goal of that is, if you listen to Teo's spiel, is that if a bad AGI came into existence in the future, that's their solution. If you had a big distributed network of GPUs, etc., you can effectively control that AI. I think it's a bit pants the way they go about that. But yeah, I think you'll see a lot of companies like Dynex, because if you look at Stable Diffusion, this other text-to-image company, they've gone from 0 to nothing, all grassroots, and it's all volunteers. So Stable Diffusion, they make pictures, etc., but they have nodes all around the world, and they've got one of the best supercomputers on the planet when you add up all of their computing power.
Render tokens, just some big commercial deals as well, again for virtual image processing for that. So that's kind of where everything's going, which which is really interesting. So my business now is moving from a crypto mining company to a distributed computation business where we now sell boxes that either A, mine crypto, or B, do AI calculation based on what's coming. So,
and then
just reworking.
Yeah, and so I think the cool thing with some of these is that, let's say Dynex at the moment are doing text to image AI stuff. When the software gets better, when AI gets better, if you all of a sudden you want to create a friendly AGI or an AI that can do, I don't know, whatever, you can just update the system, and now Dynex is powering your friendly AGI. So you can change the type of AI in it. Yes?
In the proof of useful work, it states that, I think it was in the Dynex, it states that you can use the network as you are producing that. Does that mean that you can actually, the work you are doing can help produce Dynex, or does it mean you can use it at a separate time on the same network? So you have access to that network because you are a producer?
I'm not sure,
Right.
to be honest.
I'm glad about that actually, because I thought it was just really daft.
Yeah.
When it says that, is that simultaneous, or is it a separate function?
Yeah, so in the example of Dynex, you have a GPU machine, so you'd have a computer like my company makes, you'd turn it on, you'd mine Dynex, but really what that does is whatever jobs that Dynex gets in commercially then gets put through your GPU system, you then get rewarded in Dynex token, which would have been the payment, received from the other one. So the value is as these projects get more valuable and the commercial scale grows, the value of Dynex as a token, as a share of that revenue then can increase. So that's why we're seeing some really high percentage gains.
Does that machine therefore need to be dedicated to, for example, Dynex?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment it
So
works
it's
the
on
same.
their network?
Well, it works the same as mine and any other coin. So
Exactly, because
so it's very easy
it's
to
only about
change.
semantics between mine and
Yes.
a machine that isn't dedicated to that network.
Yes.
They said that you could use that network.
Yeah, so you could be a user that uses the Dynex network for your own gain. So if you wanted some
To make images.
to make pictures or to do text stuff. So you can be either a provider of GPU or you can be a client of the
Simultaneously.
GPU. Well, one or the other. I mean, I guess you could be both if you wanted to be. But there are dedicated AI softwares that we run as well. So there are kind of on-demand AI services like Vast AI, Fluid Stack. We work in a few companies where we actually get paid in cash through PayPal or bank transfer. So you can actually just do proper commercial tasks, but obviously it's integrating so closely now within crypto. There's all these third-party softwares that you just press go and it'll either mine this or rent out that. And that sort of things and doing
Yeah.
so.
And
Yeah. Hence NVIDIA stock going through the moon in the past couple of months.
And so one thing that not many people are aware of is that the OpenAI and Google are running these GPTs, these generative pre-transformers, I forgot, these bots, these text bots, at a massive loss. To the point where if you type something into ChatGPT, it's costing OpenAI between $10 to $100 per request. So they're running at hundreds of millions of dollars of loss. So even if I do this and just say, what's my name? This is costing Google about $10, anywhere between $10 to $100. And that's because they're having to, So that request, what's my name, has pinged over to some random server or some data center somewhere in the world. It's had to then use energy to, play with the AI software and then send me a message back. And OpenAI are absolutely bleeding. 1 second. How much per, 1 second, is OpenAI, how much does it cost OpenAI per request? Ah, shit. Oh well. Sorry, yes, Chris?
And are they therefore doing that, they're not altruistic, so are they therefore doing that in order to enhance the system effectively? So all the questions it's answering are enhancing the system?
So two things. One, to improve their data modeling, and land grab as well. They want as many people using it. So when...
A bit like Facebook, everything else when it starts off.
Yeah. Oh no, this is not it. This is the pricing table if you're going to use the API, but wait.
Surely their stock price is moving with adoption anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's possible, but
Loss per question. I mean, look, they'd lost $540 million in just 1 year.
And that's all gone straight on Nvidia's balance sheet.
Yeah, it has, isn't it?
Yeah, so Nvidia's now crossed as a $1 trillion company based on the back of orders of the M1000 chips, which is predominantly the chips used for AI data centers.
I can't find it. I have to find it on time. Any other questions before we call it a day?
What do you think the CBDCs are mostly going to be built on?
Well, it's interesting that PayPal's USD, PayPal's stablecoin is built on Ethereum. I don't know. I mean, if you're a random central bank, it would be much easier to adopt an existing tech like Casper. Literally, if it's a pick, I know I keep saying that a lot. If I was a random central bank, I could literally pick up Casper right now, white label it to create my own sort of, I could fork it, so to speak, and have a very good digi dollar, digi whatever. But they probably won't do that, because if I'm a country and I wanted a CBDC, it would need to be a private blockchain, one that I had editing privileges on. Yeah, so it would need to be one that had enabled smart contracts, because the tokens would have to be smart. I guess Ethereum, especially as the World Economic Forum are loving Ethereum because it's ESG friendly. So I think a lot of these stable coins and CBDCs will probably be based, they'll use Ethereum as the settlement layer, and then maybe something like Arbitrum or Matic to build it, use to build on top of it. But it's just speculation at the moment. And I don't know, for Digi Dollar, maybe they'll just make their own. Because they've already created Fed now. That's effectively their merchant account. But, yeah.
So you don't think XRP will be much adopted in that area?
Not as the CBDC, but that's for interbank settlements, Ripple. That was really what it was created for banks to send huge amounts of money to each other quickly. And they could do it for pennies instead of waiting 3 days and tens of millions of dollars.
Replace Swift.
Yeah. Ripple basically is a threat to Swift and the dollar payment network. Not crypto, which is what a lot of people think. And again, DigiDollar, DigiPound is not a threat to Bitcoin, it's a threat to the existing cash. It's actually a threat to cash, as in physical coins and notes. That's what CBDCs are taking out. Yes?
what do you think about is it 7 cryptos that meet is it like 20022 reg? Like XLM, XRP, all of those ones?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't read into it yet. Personally, I'm just not touching anything. I'm not interested in anything which is not SEC safe. So at the moment, according to them, Bitcoin and ETH are really the only safe ones, because somehow ETH didn't come under their first shotgun to the market, and they've always said Bitcoin is a commodity. So until then, we don't know. But I think over the next 6 months, until someone launches an ETF, I think we'll get some clarification. So.
And any fair launch mineable coin should
Exactly.
So Ravencoin, Casper, Conflux, all these day one anyone can mine it, stuff, no ICO, no pre-sale.
Exactly.
Should be pretty safe, I think. So.
Exactly. So, yeah. That's the main reason, or one of the main reasons I liked it, because it was a completely fair launch. So.